From finding his footing in humble beginnings to planning a comeback after his devastating loss to Gervonta Davis, this is the rise and fall of Ryan Garcia. At the age of 7, a young Garcia came to his dad and told him that he didn't want to play baseball anymore. He was tired of having to rely on other people and understanding his need for control. His dad, Henry Garcia, the former amateur fighter, immediately found the perfect thing for him: boxing. Ryan's early training began in his own family's garage in Victorville, California, with his father setting up his workout regime. Ryan was always passionate about the sport, but it wasn't an easy journey. At 14, he was training for one of the amateur national championships when his dad's car gave out and the pair had to travel about 2,200 miles to Toledo, Ohio for the championships. On top of that, things were tight. Henry said that at that time, gas and food were both an issue, so he bought his neighbor's blue Ford Escort and off went the future champ. As luck would have it, the Escort broke down just as they entered Toledo, but Henry got it to work, giving Ryan a shot at a future in the sport. From that, you can get an idea of how far Garcia has come since then. The car might have broken down along the way, but Ryan didn't. Instead, he began an impressive career. The Flash thundered his way through 230 amateur fights and won 215 of them, with a success rate of almost 94%. At 17, when his advisors convinced him that he had nothing left to prove, Ryan turned pro, and he was off to the big leagues. The whole experience was very much a family affair. Henry supported his son all the way and shared that there were people who thought he was foolish to pursue his kids' careers. But he took the leap of faith. Henry trained his son for his first 13 professional fights, so he's one heck of a trainer. When you consider the fact that Ryan had a 13-0 with 12 knockouts to show for it. Later, though, Henry became the assistant trainer to maintain the relationship with his son. Garcia's professional debut came against Edgar Meza on 9th June 2016 and came out victorious after delivering a first-round knockout against his opponent. His most remarkable professional highlight came against Romero Duno. At the time of the matchup, Duno was supposed to be the toughest Garcia had faced so far in his career. It was a test Ryan passed brilliantly by knocking out Duno at the 1-minute 30-second mark in the first round. With 19 undefeated fights already to his credit, Ryan got that number to an even 20 after this one. It was electrifying to watch because it started very aggressively. Each punch was meant to hurt, but Ryan shot a heavy straight right hand that made it smoothly past Duno's guard, catching him off guard. Garcia quickly gathered his power and went in for another right hand, and right after that, he took a left hook to his opponent's temple. Duno staggered, and that's how Garcia stopped the fight and his opponent at the same time. Back then, after the fight, it was clear that Ryan could reach for whatever he wanted in the sport. Guess what he wanted? Better competition. Well, he sure got it. And against Luke Campbell, Ryan proved that he was ready for glory. King Rye measured up to his hype when he clashed with Cool Hand. In 2021, 6,000 people sat and watched the bout as Luke rained pain on the Flash. Everyone saw as the Brit dropped Garcia in the second round with a left hook to the chin. It was remarkable because he was the first one who'd gotten to Ryan like that, but the Flash wasn't done yet. In the third round, he brought Luke to his knees. Ryan won against his opponent by going for a left hook to the body, and though Campbell tried to get back up, referee Lawrence Cole gave Garcia the TKO win. It was huge because until then, no one had stopped Campbell the pro. He'd stood his ground even in his title fights against Jorge Linares and Vasily Lomachenko. Campbell shared afterwards that it was the hardest hit he'd ever taken. In his post-fight interview, Garcia said that he wasn't gonna let anybody decide who he was. With the win, he was choosing to be the champion, and he shared that he wasn't gonna let anyone stop him. Even Luke congratulated him in a tweet and wished him luck. So who was Ryan eyeing as his next opponent? Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Despite a spotless professional record before the Davis fight and 15 amateur national championships, many thought Garcia was only famous because of his dad. But with his good looks and vitality, he's really popular on social media too. As of March 2023, Ryan had fought 23 times as a pro and had won every single time. But Garcia had his critics in the back of his mind. He had a plan to prove them all wrong by fighting Tank. It It was a highly anticipated fight and was scheduled for April 22, 2023. According to Ryan, it was gonna be the fight that changed his storyline. He shared that he'd sacrificed for the bout, and the sacrifice was him observing and understanding himself, appreciating how much he had to overcome just to have the chance to face off against Davis. Now, I'd love to say that it went according to plan, but with Gervonta, things went south for Ryan. It was quite the event, with impressive celebrities like Julius Erving, Mark Wahlberg, and Damian Lillard showing up to watch. Champions Manny Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Mike Tyson came too. And as expected, the crowd was sold out. With 20,842 people in attendance, the atmosphere was so charged up that even the fighters' promoters got into it before it all began. The first round was cautious, but then Garcia got things going by blitzing Davis earlier in the second round. The Flash wanted a chance to throw his signature move, his powerful left hook. But Davis flipped the whole game, ducking the left hook and threw an impressive left hook of his own that floored Garcia. After that, Ryan got up, gathered all his strength, but his overall energy had changed, and he wasn't as aggressive anymore. When Davis shot an uppercut at Garcia, it was hard to see just how damaging it was. King Rye was alright at first, but then backed up a few steps, eventually going to his right knee, and just like that, it was all over in the 7th round. Ryan's first professional loss made Tank the face of the sport, which did hurt his rapport, but then people started talking. Given the years of promotional noise, the fight generated a lot of interest, and the loss had everyone talking too. Garcia's image and career took a hit as well. Sergio Mora, the former WBC light middleweight champion, weighed in and said that Tank picked his moments against Garcia, and Ryan just couldn't answer the smart way Gervonta picked the fight apart. Ishe Smith, the former professional boxer, said that Garcia quit in the ring, adding that it didn't even look solid. Garcia explained that in that moment, he'd been unable to breathe and admitted that Davis had thrown a good shot, which left him unable to get back up. He didn't want to make excuses, but shared that he'd felt a little weak going into the ring. Although Ryan didn't seem all that eager for a rematch, following the loss, things seemed to be changing for Garcia. In 2023, Ryan wasn't too happy with his team. His complaint? After his defeat to Davis, they abandoned him. The fighter's relationship with promoter Oscar De La Hoya appeared to be on the rocks. During his appearance on Bradley Martin's YouTube channel, Ryan added that his team hadn't even come to the press conference, sharing that Tank's team had cared more for him than his own. Yikes! Everyone had especially noticed De La Hoya's absence from the post-fight conference. He claimed he'd left because he had to on account of death threats, but Ryan still got more plans. He announced that he was gonna be moving up to light welterweight in the future, which is the class he'd been campaigning for before his meeting with Davis. There's no doubt that the Flash has suffered a major drawback. He no longer has a perfect score and has been on the receiving end of devastation in the ring. The added rift with his team isn't likely to make things easier either, but Garcia's still looking up. He's shared that he's planning a comeback soon. In his own words, life's good. His fans are eager to see him return though, because it's gonna show his career's future momentum. So from planning a comeback after the devastating loss to Gervonta Davis to finding his footing in humble beginnings, this was the rise and fall of Ryan Garcia.